Welcome back to MedTalk. I'm Gabriel Ferreira, the first host, the co-host. She's Catalina Abreu, the second host, the co-host. And welcome back to MedTalk. So today's episode is going to be a little different. This will be our first real podcast, I'd like to say. We're not just going to read off a script or facts off of a Google Doc. This is just me and her just talking straight through this. And what are we talking about?
So we're going to talk about the semester that we just went through. Going through exam week is happening right now.
Okay.
Expectations versus reality, things we learned, and what we have in store for next semester. Because
Yeah.
there's a lot that we learned.
Okay. Ask me this. How do you think my semester went?
How do you think your semester went?
Thank you. Okay. It was weird. My expectations for the fall semester was like, okay, this is completely different from what I've done in high school. So I have to really make sure I'm on my game because like a lot of what was focused in high school for me was band, so I didn't have anything health related, keep in mind, unless you want to count me breathing. Like
AP
for
or
health.
AP Bio.
AP Bio, yeah, but like eh. But I think this was like my breakthrough to college for wanting to do health because like I wasn't really given the opportunity towards the end of senior year because it's like what are you gonna do senior year? So I kind of really took it, and I mean I don't know if I've already said this before, but like I want to do nursing. So I read like last minute, I was able to figure out all my classes and get all the classes I need. So, but my expectations for the fall semester, I honestly thought it was gonna be harder. I can't lie. For,
Really?
for at least for me, yeah, because I think I didn't realize how much free time I actually had until like a month or two after the semester. Because I feel like the first month is really just settling in, getting used to college and how it works, going to college, like going back home because like I'm at home,
Yeah,
so
commute.
I commute and stuff, and I also have to balance work on top of that and studying in this as well. So I don't know. It kind of just made me realize like yes, you should study and stuff, but it's you start to settle in and you start to realize how to, I guess, manage that.
Yeah.
And I think what really saved me, like the first 2 months, probably was just not scheduling, but writing everything down in a calendar and just pretty much just planning how my day would go because it gave me more structure than I'm gonna be honest. Like now, like I kind of just do whatever I want. But I mean, I kind of earned that liberty because like I kind of worked my butt off to like do good. I mean, at least for me, um, like first like 6 weeks I studied so hard and like I'd go to extra help, I'd go to group sessions because I didn't know what to expect of the exams because they didn't really tell us much except oh just study this, do that. I'm like okay sure. So I ended up doing all that and um it turned out fine in my opinion. I think what I'm more worried about is what's to come and I think I'm kind of more on my toes with that like planning for like what's to come like next. So like what class am I going to take next semester? What am I going to do next semester? Because I think fall semester is really a good starting point to just understand how it works. But I feel like you can still learn a lot more in your fall semester, so you don't have to realize like 2 years later, oh, I could have done this instead. So I think that's also something I'm a little worried about. But other than that, I think um I did well. It was definitely worth it with how I handled it from the start because me being lazy towards the end just made it fine. So
It all balanced out in the
yeah,
end.
it was chill for me.
I feel like I kind of was the opposite experience. I thought it was going to be way easier going into it than it actually was.
Yeah,
And I think that was from the fact that I was like, I knew how to handle high school so well.
yeah,
Like, I kind of had it just like down and I knew exactly what I needed to do. And like, college, I expected to be similar because I go to a really small school. So, like, 30 people max in my
yeah.
classes, except one class. Um, and so at first I had like a lot of curveballs to learn,
hmm
but like you said, creating that schedule and all of that is like
For what during high school?
no, creating like a schedule each day and writing out
Okay,
what
but
I'm doing.
oh yeah, keep going.
And so writing all of that out really helped me start to get a pattern as to what I needed to do. Um, that and I think that Calc 2 was really hard.
You did well though in
It
this
was
last
so
exam.
brutal, yeah. I'm so happy with like what I ended with, but
Yeah,
it was really to begin, and then also learning that I didn't actually need Calc 2 for what I want to do, and then also like opening new doors as to what I could do in the future, like not
What do you mean?
just doctor.
What do you mean opening doors?
Like seeing what other opportunities there are out there for jobs, not just in the short term, but also in the long term too.
I mean, obviously, doctor is long term. Doctor's not short term. I really hope you don't want to do 12 years of schooling just to do doctor for like 1 year.
Yeah.
That suck.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's good though that you figured it out. And I think that's what I was kind of searching for like the entire time throughout high school. It's just I didn't really understand, like I just didn't really know what, and I didn't understand how really like beneficial academics can be for you because like I kind of slacked off big time. But other than that, I think I did fine. Like with where I'm at now because that's really what I was searching, like pretty much like how you were able to find like doors to open for you.
Yeah.
I found that during the summer, and then I was able to solidify that during the fall semester. But I don't know. For me, um it definitely made me realize how I need to just how I need to handle my classes because I handle them well. It's just after a certain point when I know I'm doing fine, it's like I don't put as much effort in as I should. But I think that comes with some people. It's like procrastination.
Yeah. I think that's kind of like a trait that people have, and it's hard to.
That's
not even a trait, habit.
I mean that's a habit I kind of developed throughout like since middle school to high school. But like I mean it's gotten better, but it's definitely dissipating like as the semester goes because I'm realizing okay I don't have to stress as much about it. Which I mean I kind of was really just like anxious I guess about how I do in college because every stats exam that I have to take or like stats quiz my heart would be like racing.
Really?
Yeah, and even assignments or like quizzes that I do, I tweak because I want to do well in these assignments and stuff because it's like I know in the long run it's gonna help me a lot. But speaking of classes, how do you think each of your classes were?
Okay, so chemistry was like my favorite thing ever because I took AP chemistry in high school.
Yeah.
And apparently Chem 1 is the first semester of AP chemistry.
Yeah.
I learned maybe 2 new things. The rest of it was like creating much review.
It was straightforward.
Yeah, it was straightforward for me because I had such a deep understanding already of chemistry. The chem lab was a curveball because I didn't really do much laboratory work in.
What did you do in chem lab?
So we did titration, which is like.
What is that?
So you have an acid and a base, and you slowly. Do you know what acids and bases are?
Of course I do.
Okay, so essentially you're just slowly putting in the base into the acid.
Yeah.
To get an equilibrium point, which is when their like moles are equal to each other, like their amounts are equal to each other. And there's a certain identifier chemical in there that changes the color, so it's really pretty and cool.
Yeah. Is that what we did the entire semester?
No.
Okay.
No, I did 2 of those, and then I also did a bunch of stats work actually, like collecting data on certain things. We did one on oranges actually, like the amount of orange segments we had. We did things on weighing chemicals, before and after different combinations of the chemicals. So, like molarity, so finding the concentration and seeing how much you needed and what the averages were of that.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of stats work, and I really learned like how to use Excel for that, which was something interesting because I never knew how to use Excel before.
Yeah.
I'd always be like, Dad, help me, I don't know how to use Excel.
Yeah.
Now I kind of get it. And then Calc 2, don't even talk to me about Calc 2.
How was it fast paced or like?
Okay.
Was it just a lot thrown at you while you were just learning it?
So Calc 2 is apparently harder than like most of the calculuses out there, according to other people who have been in other calculus classes.
Yeah.
And a lot of it was like the beginning part was kind of review for me from AP Calculus because it was finding like areas, volumes, but they threw in different techniques which were kind of weird to me.
Yeah.
And then they also did series and sequences, so like finding when the series ends, when the series, if the series ends, or if it's infinite. What else did we do? We did a lot of integrals, so it's like finding the area under the curve.
Yeah.
These are also technical things. And then we did a lot of trigonometry from like within the integrals. So it was pretty challenging.
Yeah. For the quizzes and tests, or like let's say your first quiz and test, like were you expecting it to be like as hard?
No. I
Okay.
thought, I mean, I definitely had like a nervousness inside of me that
Yeah.
it was going to be that difficult, but it wasn't necessarily as strong as I would have been if I knew what was on that exam.
Yeah.
Um,
Do you think it made you realize like how you should improve,
oh yeah,
like
for
not just
sure.
studying but also like how you learn the material as well?
Yeah. So the number one thing was practice questions.
Yeah.
There's only so much that understanding the concepts get you. Um, I think that the reason that a lot of pre-meds and pre-health people have to take calculus is more critical thinking because realistically you're never going to be finding the area under the curve when you're trying to resuscitate someone from cardiac arrest.
Yeah.
So so I think that the critical thinking part comes from practicing the questions.
Yeah.
And for me, well, I can't necessarily practice the question if I don't understand where the answers are coming from.
Yeah.
So, what I thought was really helpful was finding the assistant people, what are they called? The tutoring services in
Oh.
the school,
Yeah.
and going to them before my exams and just being like, writing down the questions that I didn't understand in the homework, writing down the concepts I didn't understand, and running through questions with them. You know, asking them a
Yeah.
million questions
Did
no
that make
matter
a
how
drastic
annoying.
improvement
Oh yeah,
on your next exam?
yeah. I think I had like a 25-point jump
Really?
between the two exams.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that really like brought up my grade and saved me and all of that.
Yeah.
And then I think that studying over a long-term period of time is also really crucial for
Yeah.
all these subjects.
So I mean, at least going back to calc, like it made you realize that just or pretty much your perspective on how you should study and go about it changed from the beginning to the end of the semester.
Oh yeah.
I mean, because I mean, at least from what I know, like you drastically improved from it,
Mm-hmm.
and like even today, like you just had your exam, like you got an 88 on that, which
Yeah, I was so
is good.
happy.
I mean, it came in clutch. So
Yeah.
I mean, you were able to see like how I guess calc could just really, I guess, improve you. I guess
Mm-hmm.
even if it's something that you never want to do again.
No, I never looked
Yeah.
at calculus ever.
You take any other classes?
I took accounting.
How was that?
So accounting was really different from what I'm used to.
Yeah.
It's like a whole different level of math.
Yeah.
I actually have one of my best friends, her mom is an accountant.
Yeah.
And she saved my butt this semester and helped me learn a bunch of this stuff.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, it's literally just like debits and credits, like lining up
Was it boring?
balances. For me, yeah, I don't like accounting. But I came to appreciate it because I do recognize that ultimately when I'm older and if I own my own practice, when I do own my own practice, I do need to look at the accounting situation. And her mom, my friend's mom, actually made me realize that
Yeah.
these accountants out there are kind of sneaky. Apparently, one of her accountants, like clients, the accountant was stealing money.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and she didn't recognize that it was happening until after.
Yeah.
But okay, so going back to studying and all of that, what did you find were the best techniques to study for all of your classes?
I'll break down my classes first, and then I'll go into studying. So for me, I'll start with anatomy because anatomy was just a lot of memorization, and um, just oh my gosh, it wasn't that bad honestly. It's like the thing with anatomy is that you can't really be taught anatomy like from a professor
Yeah,
because I mean you took it in high school. At least for me,
it's a
like
different level.
for me in university, it's like the teacher's pretty much just reading what's off the slides, and maybe she'll throw in some like ways to like remember certain things like mnemonics or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, it's just you really just gotta cram it inside your head and just like repeat it over and over again. Like a lot of stuff that I learned, I had no idea what it was before, but then after like hardcore studying everything and practicing it through the homeworks, it wasn't that bad. And I think going to the SI session, so pretty much just group sessions where it'd be student run or it'd be student led, and someone who's already taken the class pretty much run it, and like if they did well, obviously they're gonna run it, they're gonna teach it to you. and you're pretty much just gonna collaborate with other students. And I think it helps me realize kind of how far ahead I was from other people. But at the same time too, it helps me reinforce what I needed to know, but also some specific things I also needed to know as well because some things can go in depth. I can't lie. Like just a lot of things can go in depth, and it's not just about like learning like the muscular system or anything like that. Because it's like literally, I just gotta know is like muscles. So it's
Right.
like your biceps break, yeah, your triceps break, yeah. But like other than that, it's like it's pretty straightforward. It's literally just a memory game. But for other things like that, like you have to remember systems, like not systems, but cycles. I guess like um how muscle contraction works. Like it takes time. Like I remember in the exam, I was kind of like guessing myself for like a lot of questions because I wasn't really like positive on it because
Right.
like it's a lot just to read it, and when you're trying to make sense, it takes way more time than just one study session. And so definitely studying with other people helps me realize that. But I think for that class I was fine. For the lab, it's pretty much the same thing. I mean, what sucked about it most was that it was 8 o'clock.
Oh my
My
gosh.
my schedule was all over the place, and like I take the bus to get to school, so like I had to wake up at like 5:30 a.m. and
That's
then
insane. That's dedication right there.
it's dedication for sure. But 5:30 a.m. and like I have to leave my house at like 6:20 and then like take a 20 minute walk and then go to the bus. It wasn't bad. It's just because I have to sleep in early like the next day to make sure I get enough sleep.
I remember.
But it wasn't anything crazy. It was worth it if anything, honestly, because it taught me to like actually wake up earlier. I mean, I pretty much already got that from high school, but
It's a good habit.
it's a good habit to have. So lab wasn't that hard either. I mean, you're pretty much just taught the same thing that you are in lecture, except you get to do dissections, which was awesome to me. Like, what did we dissect? We dissected a cat. We didn't dissect a cat. Like, let's be real. The cat was already dissected. I mean, there was some stuff I guess we'd have to mess with, but nothing much really. Um,
Just identifying and
yeah,
stuff.
a sheep brain and a sheep eye as well. So yeah, it was pretty much just a lot of identification, and it was cool because I think I can't like going into the lab. It made me realize, okay, depending on how well I can actually handle like seeing a dead cat in front of me and like its guts and stuff, because you could see everything in there. Like you can see its large, small intestines, its heart, its stomach. So it was freaky to a lot of people. And like, but like I was telling myself before, if I can handle a cat in front of me, I should be able to handle patients. Obviously, it's different because I feel like you can get more of
Yes.
an emotional connection with a person. But if I can see guts, I think I'm in the right direction to where I should be at
Yeah.
least.
I mean, everyone has like their little, like, I guess triggers is the right word, like
Yeah,
things that gross them out. Like
yeah,
for me, I can handle most things, like blood
yeah.
doesn't bother me. But as soon as I see vomit, that's it.
Yeah, but I think it definitely like made me realize if this was really something I wanted to do, and I was grateful for that.
Mm-hmm.
But lab was pretty straightforward, and then I'll go to psych now. Psych was really fun because of the professor. The professor's great. He's like everyone loves him. He makes a lot of jokes, but the amount of knowledge he has is insane because he teaches well too. Is the thing. It's not like he like obviously he reads some stuff off the slides, but he goes off on tangents and like talks about how it relates to the real world as
That's
well. And
interesting.
it's like so it's good.
Yeah.
But not only that, he made the textbook. Like
Oh,
he
really?
wrote the textbook that we had to buy. The textbook was like $150. So
Oh my
so
gosh.
that sucks. Like I didn't realize that's another thing I didn't realize too is like how expensive some stuff in college can be. But
Mm-hmm.
besides that, psych was pretty straightforward. Everything was online. Like all the assignments, the textbook was also online, and the exams as well. So like my final exams are gonna be online.
Lucky.
So I'm gonna be able to take it next week. But I think the biggest thing to like in order to learn stuff in psych, I think same thing where it's just a memory game as well. You have to read the textbook. I think reading the textbook helps, and then doing study questions as well because he gave study questions, and I think that helped me a lot with the exams.
Mm-hmm.
But besides that, stats. I was a little scared of stats because I always sucked at math in high school. Like I didn't really care about math or like apply myself.
Well, you were an AP Calc, so that's a completely different ballgame than statistics.
Yeah, but like I mean I always like did my homework the day before, the night before, or the morning of, and like me studying was like the night before, the day before when like so I mean it's like what good was I gonna expect? Like so I mean I didn't do bad, but I could have done so much better. But
Right.
obviously I didn't want to translate that to math stats. Stats is really easy for me at least. But practice I think just made me realize like how like there's the only way I'm gonna get better and teaching myself too I think like to understand and not to guess and like act like I know what I'm doing. Like I'll be like, oh, okay, I'll get that. Like when the professor's teaching, just actually really teaching it to myself because that's the only way I'm gonna be able to actually know it. And it translated well to the exams as well and the quizzes. Like I ended with an A overall. Like I had my exam yesterday. And I got an A on it thankfully. But like,
Good job.
but the thing is, it's like the entire semester I was on it the entire time, and then for this final exam, I literally only studied like 2 days before, and I got an A on it too. It was my worst A. It was a 91, but
Worst A. Worst
but
A.
again, stats is easy. Like you're gonna see next semester when you take stats, it's not that bad.
I'm not terrified of it, but I'm a little bit nervous coming out of Calc 2. It's like a little
Yeah.
bit of PTSD.
It's gonna be so much more relaxing. Trust.
Yeah.
But what other classes I take? English too. I I mean, after a certain point, I really don't like writing essays. That's just me.
That's understandable. We're science people.
But after a while, like not after a while, but I didn't realize like I'd actually enjoy the class more than I did because it wasn't like old books or anything like that. Like it wasn't Shakespeare, it wasn't anything like that. So I enjoyed it more because it was like more environment based, and I'm more interested in that than that. So and it was more engaging too because the professor like really made us try and collaborate with each other and just work through this and like pretty much just make it more student led and not just her lecture. And I think that's what I appreciated more. Another thing too, going back to what you're saying about tutoring, that's what really helped me improve my essay and like my writing skills. I think that's when I was really on top of it because as soon as we got our prompt for the first essay, I just wrote as much as I could and then I went to the writing center. It's pretty much professors that offer help or just yeah, pretty much professors I guess really.
Is it professors or students?
I mean, I guess professors are TAs. I'm not sure, but it's one of the other. But I got help from them nonetheless, and it really helped me improve. And the professor noticed it, and because I also went to the professor too to also give me help, and it really paid off. I mean, my first essay got 100 on it,
Wow.
and but like, and then I think I started getting more of an idea of what to do for the next. So I didn't really rely on them as much. But I feel like if I did, I just would have kept improving and improving. But yeah, writing like at least for me, it's not that hard. It's just a matter of how you apply yourself. You can say the same thing for anything, but just really going to the teacher and just other people
Yeah.
helps that as well. But I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I did get lazy towards the end of it too. So we'll see how this last essay went, but
Sure. Well,
it's not bad. Yeah. Didn't I take any other classes? I think that was it. Oh, and I took a first year interest group too. So it's pretty much just for me to like I guess organization, I guess really. And but it did help me realize like how beneficial it is to plan ahead and really know what your next move is. And I mean, I kind of already have an idea of what classes I'm taking summer semester and fall semester of next year, which that's gonna help me a lot. And
yeah, I don't know that.
yeah.
I'm in a little bit of like a curveball right now with
Yeah.
classes.
But other than that, I think for studying for each class, it's really just it depends on the subject. Like for anatomy, you're gonna have to run a lot of flashcards and Quizlets and
Right.
just practice questions and stuff just to really know it. For stats, it's like you pretty much just have to learn all the equations and just understand how it works. And again, same thing, practice. Psychology, I think honestly, I think psychology is probably the most difficult because some of it is abstract. Really, it's just more foreign than people would expect it to be. I think, but other than that, it's not bad. Writing, you just have to write a lot.
Yeah, it's
But
just work.
it's not bad. I did find all the class enjoyable though. It wasn't. I mean, obviously some things I would like dread, but it wasn't like dreadful.
Right, it wasn't like pain. Like
Yeah,
calculus
but
course.
the thing is, I was in school like every day, pretty much, and it was all day. So I guess that kind of drained me, and like I take breaks during school as well.
Right.
Like I would take naps inside the library and like on the sofa and just be like
Really?
knocked out. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I told you before.
Yeah.
So it wasn't anything like it wasn't anything crazy, but it definitely made me realize like how important sleep is. But
Sleep is valuable. That's why you form your memories.
yeah, for all the anatomy stuff you have to remember. But um for balancing academics and your life outside of like school, do you think it was difficult for you? Like, be honest.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
At first it was hard because like I lived on campus, but I also only had classes 3 days of the week, so I would come home like after those classes would finish.
Yeah.
And like I think that at the beginning it was very like the only thing when I was up at school was school. I would call my parents and I would call my family members,
Hmm.
but it wasn't like I was having like a social life or anything while I was up at school. When I was up at school, I was up at school and doing work.
Yeah.
And then I would come home and I was like exhausted, burnt out. And like the next 4 days were like super chill, like overly chill.
Yeah.
I work like I had a job, but I worked like maybe 5 to 10 hours within that time frame that I was there. And I like still was productive, like I did my own life things, but it wasn't like I was doing much schoolwork when I was home. I mean, granted, the things that were due, I would do them, but it wasn't like studying.
Yeah, because I remember like you pretty much got ahead of a lot of things, I think.
Yeah.
And like yeah, because whenever I'd ask you like if you had anything, it's like
No.
we pretty much already had like a good amount of it done. So it's
Yeah.
like you're pretty much more ahead than like, oh, I have to get everything done.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think gradually as the semester went on though, I still kept like a very strong focus when I was up at school.
Yeah.
But as my classes lessened out, I started to do a lot of work at home
Yeah.
as well. But it never got to a point where I was really sacrificing my time with my family. I think it also has a lot to do with the fact that I was taking 12 credits this semester.
Yeah.
Which was really like helpful, I guess, to ease into it. And my calc too. I'm never living that down. So I think that it was easy to have that balance. Even though sometimes I was like burnt out.
Yeah.
And I would just kind of like get home and like
Just
dead.
not want to do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, I mean, I pretty much had a similar approach to you, like from the start, where you're talking about how like
When
just
you're at school, you're there.
go easy. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
when I'm at school, I was at school and just really just doing work.
Mhm.
Obviously, I had times to chill because I was there the entire day, pretty much, like Monday through Monday through Friday. Honestly, I was pretty much there the entire
Yeah.
time. Monday through Thursday, I guess, because Friday I was just there in the morning. But besides that, I didn't really work that much because I work a part time, obviously,
Mhm.
Chipotle. So, I had told him from the start I need to get used to college and understand how it works, and like I want to make sure that I'm not taking too much time with work and that it's affecting like my academics because that's something I was really scared about because I kind of let that happen with high school. It definitely like shouldn't have happened, but my time management back then was like really bad. But it got better now, and I'm glad for that. And eventually, once that one credit like finished the first year interest group, that's
Tuesdays were chill.
Tuesdays were chill, and I think that's when I decided at that point. Like it was pretty much 8 weeks into the semester. I was like, okay, I can start working more. And so they started me like I went from working like 5 to 10 hours a week to like 10 to 20.
20.
Yeah, 20.
Really?
Yeah, I mean I'm like working Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's like from depends like 4 to 9 to 4 to 11. So like honestly 15 to 20 hours towards it. But
See, to me that's a lot. But
yeah, the thing to me is like I got burnt out like easily. Like I got really burnt out
yeah.
a lot of the times, and like a lot of times I just didn't want to do anything because like I'd go all out. Like that's something I realized. Like I'd go all out with everything that I need to do, but then
Me
eventually
too.
I just like I'd be done.
Yeah.
And
Like you just want to lay in bed when you're burnt out,
yeah, but eventually I got used to it sort of, and I started trying to figure out. I started trying to manage like when not to get burnt out and when to like when it's time to rest and when it's time to actually do work. And it wasn't bad this semester at all. And I think what really sucked was MedTalk because I didn't realize like
How fast the time is
how fast time went by and just how little I guess we got done with it. But
yeah, I'm sorry we kind of ghosted you guys a little bit there.
but like it made me realize like I had a lot of free times in my hand as well. But um I think I just got so caught up in work and academics that like I don't think I leave enough space in my mind to be like, okay, we have to do
MedTalk.
this. We have to do this in order for it to work. But it wasn't bad, I'd say. It wasn't really that bad.
It wasn't too bad. I mean, we posted at least once a month.
Yeah, but I think now that we got a better idea of how college works, I think it's fine.
Yeah, I think so too.
So yeah,
I think it'll be better managed.
that's definitely one lesson I learned. I think I grew a lot in this semester. The problem is a lot of that can like come crashing down.
Yeah.
Because I just get lazy and I procrastinate sometimes. But it definitely made me realize planning ahead and just being ahead of everything really like makes everything so much more chill. Like I don't really have much stress to worry about like in any of my classes. And for my final exams, I mean, I think I'll study and I think I'll do well on them because I've done well on everything. So definitely being on top of it throughout the entire semester made me realize it. It definitely made me I think this was probably the best semester I've had in terms of academics, but I think it's a good like push for me to go towards spring semester, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you learned somewhat from this
Yeah.
semester.
I think that I learned a lot. I learned that you need to manage my time better. I
Yeah.
mean, I always was good at it in high school, but it's different. And learning the difference is important.
It's really different in high school or
Yeah.
college.
Um, but going into that spring semester, I mean, like, what are you kind of expecting to have there?
I mean, I think I'm taking like less credits, I'm pretty sure.
Really?
Yeah. Um, because I'm doing all my prerequisites for nursing school. So next semester I'm taking chemistry, anatomy, physiology.
Chemistry?
I'm taking CPR and first aid. It's an online course just to get my certificates, and I'm also doing human growth and development. So it's like it's three more prerequisites I need to get done, and I'm excited for it. But I think I'm definitely gonna I guess get some sort of a preview. That's something I honestly learned. I don't want my first semester of spring to be how it was my first semester of fall, where it was chaotic and all over the place, and I didn't know what to buy, what books to get, and where my classes were. Like I kind of just want to be able to go into it and just chill. Like ideally, I want to have everything down like 2 weeks before the semester actually starts, just to make sure, and also check the syllabus and just be aware of it. Because I think
Yeah.
I did a really good job of doing that this semester, but I think I can definitely apply it more and just get ahead in case of anything comes up. And also to again going back to talking about managing time, to also make more time and make more room to wherever it's possible to do more of this as well. Because I think work is fine because I'm only gonna work one day because I'm doing a CNA program and EKG as well. It's a bundle. So I'm doing both, and it's gonna last I think like 2 to 3 months. So it'll be fun, and I'm definitely gonna like. I think it's finally it's finally gonna be my first step into actually like what
Medicine.
medicine is and just how that like the health system actually works. I guess.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that because it's definitely my first experience. But I don't think it's gonna be hard for me. I'm a little worried about like the amount of time I have because it's like I know the first month is gonna be a lot because I'm gonna be going to the Davie campus like every weekend. So,
Wow.
but it's not gonna be that bad. And then hopefully I get certified and then I can start applying.
Hopefully.
But yeah,
No, you got it. It's actually, at least for me, KG was easy.
yeah,
I mean, I had a really good understanding of the chemistry behind EKG.
yeah.
But I think if you study enough, it works.
I have a lot of time too, is the thing.
Yeah.
Like, I talked to someone. I talked to a phlebotomist because they were drawing blood for me. I mean, they're talking about the phlebotomy certificate, so I don't know if it's the same difficulty at all. Is it or not? Is
For
it?
me, I think phlebotomy was scarier because
Well, like, well, which one was easier or harder?
I would say phlebotomy, honestly, like in terms of the
Was it
science,
easy or harder?
or easier.
Easier?
Yeah, EKG was harder because there's more things to memorize, like the different waves,
Yeah,
patterns. At least for me, my course covered that. Some courses don't because that's actually not in the scope of practice of an
yeah.
um, EKG tech.
Mhm.
But my course covered it. Some
Yeah.
don't. I never took CNA though, so I can't talk about that.
Okay.
But to me, EKG was more interesting than phlebotomy. Um, but I think, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. What about your spring semester?
Um, I have more credits this semester. I'm taking Chem 2, genetics, which is like, I'm skipping biology because I got a 5 on my AB bio test. Um, and then I have stats, um, sociology. Is that all of them? I think so.
Yeah.
Oh, Chem 2 lab, duh. So I'm a little bit nervous for Chem too because I didn't do so great on the second semester of chemistry just because it is harder.
Yeah.
Excited for genetics, like super thrilled because that's like my favorite topic in biology. Except for maybe like mitosis, meiosis. But yeah, I think that that's kind of what.
Do you think your workload's gonna be easier than it was this semester?
Yes, because I like it more.
Yeah.
I think that that's going to be my biggest thing to overcome is that it is more classes and theoretically it is going to be more work, but at least I'll like it.
Hmm.
But I still need to manage my time with it as well.
You're gonna start applying to hospitals?
Yeah, so I have. I've reached out to a few people now. I
Yeah.
reached out to a connection that I had. Well, he left West Boca Medical Center, but he used to be the CEO. I reached out to him on LinkedIn. We'll see if he responds. I reached out to my old medical teacher. So using that network I have found is like probably a lot better
Yeah.
chance. Just because there's so many people that apply all at the same time. So I'm trying to use all the networking that I have to find myself a job.
Yeah.
And then also maybe looking into other certifications I can have. I have CMA.
I mean, you have a lot. That was the thing.
Yeah, but I want to get CMA, like
Yeah.
clinical medical assistant, because that's kind of like CNA. It's a little different,
Yeah.
but it would be a good job for me. My
Hmm.
cousin has that job right now, and I mean, she loves it.
When's your goal to get a job?
I would like one by spring semester, theoretically.
But like when in spring semester?
The beginning of
The beginning of spring semester?
Yeah, I would love to
Okay.
have one by the beginning. I think that I could totally make it balance out. I mean, I still want to keep my job at the YMCA just because I do get benefits from there, but
Yeah.
way less.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you already don't work that much.
Yeah, I mean,
You work like one shift a week.
Yeah, that's true. And then also start like per diem stuff for
Yeah.
my hospital shifts, just because I think it is pretty overwhelming to work part time with hospital shifts, because those things can be like overnight shifts, which are really hard.
Yeah. But you're more excited for spring semester?
I am. I'm super excited about this semester. I'm looking forward to my classes, which is not something I was really doing in the summer for fall semester.
Yeah.
And then also I'm like looking into other opportunities like DMP and all of that. So that would bring me down a path that's more like yours.
Yeah.
That I really have to look into the prereqs and all of it ASAP, because I don't have much time to do that. So yeah.
Well, I think that's it. I mean, we kind of covered somewhat of a base of everything, but thank you for watching, and until next time, let's talk, man.